Oh man, this should have came out after Civil War. Would have made so much more sense. But my review of Black Widow. This movie has been delayed so many times, and then COVID happened, and then it got delayed again, and then it finally came out. So I finally watched it, and the first two acts of this movie are way better than the third act. The third act to me was kind of just whatever. It was just them running around. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie. It's just them running around the laboratory, blah blah blah. I gotta use the computers and do all this gadget fucking James Bond stuff. There wasn't that much fighting at the end as I thought there would be. I thought there'd be a lot more fighting. But the first two acts are pretty good. It's not my favorite Marvel movie, obviously, but it's the fight scenes are really well done, and the family dynamic with Black Widow and her family is pretty good. David Harbour is good as always. My man from Stranger Things played Hellboy. Could have worked on his Russian accent a bit more, but I liked him. He was hilarious. He had that badass vibe to him. Every character in this movie was actually pretty good. Everyone in this poster. I enjoyed all of them. But I just wish the story was like not even the story. I just wish this movie came out when it was supposed to come out. Like this takes place after Civil War. Black Widow dies in Endgame. So like there's no consequences in this movie really. It's just like whatever happens happens, but you got to suspend your disbelief and just watch it. But I'm not going to ruin the post-credit scene. But my thoughts on it, I thought it was kind of silly and super unnecessary. They didn't have to put it in. I think they just put it in for fan service. But you know what? I'm gonna spoil the credits, the post-credit scene. I don't care. So if you haven't seen it, turn the video off now. So in Endgame, Black Widow jumps off the cliff and she kills herself. Well, it was like a battle between her and Hawkeye, and she wanted to do it because Hawkeye had kids and a wife. So she jumps off the cliff and she kills herself, right? And this is like years before, after. It's weird how they did the post credit scene. It's like a fucking like. It doesn't say how big the time jump is, but it's obviously after Endgame because she's dead. And they tell her to. They give her sister a mission, and they tell her that Hawkeye is bait. She gives her a tablet, and Hawkeye's picture's on there, and she says Hawkeye is the one that killed her sister. So now she's gonna go after Hawkeye, but it's stupid because Hawkeye didn't kill Black Widow. He tried to sacrifice himself, and then Black Widow pulled him back, and she jumped off. She made that sacrifice herself. Hawkeye didn't kill her, so I'm like, what the fuck? It's kind of stupid. And there's a Hawkeye show coming out, so I'm assuming that's gonna be the fucking plot. I don't know. I don't really care. I watched WandaVision, didn't really like it. Falcon and Winter Soldier was the best. I was looking forward to Loki, but I could not get past the second episode, and I was looking really forward to that show, which sucks, but whatever. Back to the movie. Black Widow. But yeah, it was definitely. It wasn't a bummer of a movie. It was better than Captain Marvel. I don't know if it was better than Dark Phoenix. I really like Dark Phoenix actually. The movie got hated on a lot, but it was better than Captain Marvel. But like I said millions of times, if this movie came out when it did, and like it should have came out like a couple years like after Civil War, not after she dies, and they're telling us her origin story now, and she's already dead. Like it's just stupid. It's like millions of other people have said this movie obviously got fucking lost in the vault and they just didn't care to drop it. And now that they don't have anything to come out with, they're just like, fuck it, whatever. Hold everyone over until the next Marvel movie comes out. But, like I said, the family chemistry with her and her family was really good. And I really liked the action scenes. I thought Taskmaster would be in it a bit more, but whatever. That plot hole kind of. That plot line, sorry, not plot hole, that plot line kind of like was just in the background. It wasn't like the main focus, so I can't really get mad about that. But Scarlett Johansson does a good job, Black Widow, and her sister. I forget the actor's name, but I really liked her. She's pretty hot, so I really enjoyed her. And the dialogue between the family was really good. There was a couple of really good, heartfelt moments I was not expecting, but overall, it's just kind of another Marvel movie at the end of the day. Like, it's nothing special. You can definitely skip this and you're not going to be missing anything. But if you don't want to, if you don't have anything to watch, hey man, it's easy. Just throw on, watch it. And another thing I forgot to mention: the opening credits of this movie. Oh man, I could have skipped it, but I I thought it was gonna be maybe kind of cool at the beginning. It started kind of alright, and then it dragged on for like 3-4 minutes, and it had like the opening credits had like the background imagery, nothing to me had anything to do with the movie, I guess, other than the kids being kidnapped, like the Red Room. But like all the news reportings and the bombings, it was like, why is Marvel trying to be so political? Like the fucking intro opening credit scene had like that. It was just so stupid. And the beginning, the first two acts, they really like the pacing was really bad. I thought like the first act was like all right. I mean, the first two acts, like I said, were better than the third one. But the pacing, it went like so like to a quick action scene, and then it just cut to Black Widow on a boat. But like that action scene was like, I don't know, like not even a minute. Like, and then it goes to like a slow scene, and it was just bouncing back and forth. Like, it wasn't really that consistent in the first act. But once they get to the second act, I find as soon as Black Widow meets her sister in the house and they get into that fight, from that point on, the movie gets a lot better and more like the tone is better. It's more consistent. Because at the beginning, it just didn't feel like it just felt like all over the place. I don't know. It was like a, but the comedy's good. There's not a lot of comedy, and when there is, it's good. It's not like Guardians of the Galaxy. Even though Guardians of the Galaxy is more of a comedy, but yeah, the tone at the beginning of this was all over the place. But second act made up for it. Can't say that about the third act because the third act was, like I said, it just, I don't know, I did not like it. And I didn't really like the way the movie ended either. It kind of felt, I don't know, it was just the way they ended it. I felt like there could have been a better ending. I don't know. It felt like it just cut to black and the movie just fucking ended. I don't know. Wasn't that good of an ending to me, memorable or anything. But out of all of them, the fight with Taskmaster at the beginning is probably my favorite, and the fight on the construction bridge when it's like wintertime, there's an avalanche coming. The scenery was really cool, the setting was really cool, the environment was really, really well done, I thought. And another thing I did like about this movie is you can actually see what's going on. Not everything's black and dark. There's a lot of every room. The lighting in this movie and the cinematography is good. It's like fucking Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Captain America and the Winter Soldier. It's probably the same director and producer or whatever, cinematographer. But the fight scenes are awesome, and that's basically what it came here for. I never expected a I never expected to get too deep into Black Widow's character. I never found her that interesting to give her her own movie in the first place. But the action scenes were good. Scarlett Johansson does a good job, but there's just not much to Black Widow to me. Maybe like in the comics, there's a deeper lore that I don't know about, but like in the movies, I don't know. Surprised they haven't made a fucking Hawkeye movie. I know they're coming out, like I said, a Hawkeye show, but I'm surprised there wasn't a movie. Maybe this would have been better if this was a show. And they could flesh it out just a bit more. It is 2 hours, but could have used a bit more. But anyways, I'm gonna give this bad boy know I said no more ratings, but I'm I don't want to give it a 5. I'm gonna give it I think I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10. I don't want to give it a 7. A 7 to me is like B. I'd say this is like a C. I really, 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 really enjoyed the second act. Like I was on that. That was the part I just loved the most, and I really wished the movie kept that consistency in action. But it just slows down near the end so bad. Like it was just it just wasn't entertaining me. I was just like checking my phone, just waiting for it to be over. And then that ending, like I just didn't like it. But whatever. 6.5. Next movie is gonna be Space Jam on Friday.